I just want to say it's an honor to be here to share, and also moving down to the younger set and a little less heady, but yet heady in kindergarten terms. It's an honor to be here with all of you and many of you whose children I've taught, and to share with you a very innovative curriculum project. So 2 years ago, at John Evans' suggestion, the kindergarten team, consisting of Chris Sincata, Mirta Martinez, and myself, along with our assistants, took advantage of a powerful home-school connection to collaborate with Elizabeth Macaulay Lewis, at that time a parent in Mirta's class, who is an archaeologist and a professor at Columbia University. And we created with her and test piloted an archaeology curriculum for K students, which we named Toys of Past and Present, an archaeology curriculum for Friends Seminary kindergarten students. The aim of this curriculum, in short, is to introduce K or kindergarten students to the principles of archaeology through a simulated dig project based on the transparent shoebox dig created by the Archaeological Institute of America. A little bit about 5-year-olds. Young children are natural-born scientists with an innate curiosity and a burning desire to learn about their world. They are keen observers. They love to explore their environment. And while doing so, they make discoveries and connections, thereby learning about and gaining a deeper awareness of the world in which they live. So we had wonderful people with whom to try out this curriculum. The teachers decided to involve toys in the project because we talked about what we might bury. And since toys are very appealing to young children, that was why we chose them. So our students, at our request, each chose a small favorite toy to bring in to school. And their parents were also asked to choose a favorite toy from their childhood. And I must tell you that a few toys had to come by special messenger and Federal Express from across the country and sometimes out of the country from their parents. So these were arriving on our doorstep. And so they were sent in, the toys were sent in and buried at different levels in the transparent shoeboxes to represent the different time periods. In addition, the teachers worked with art teacher Isabel Dominguez to have each class create a clay plate. And we wrote on it our class name, and then we broke it into pieces and buried these plates in our own shoeboxes along with the toys for the students to excavate. So archaeology involves the passage of time and the element of change over time, which is a challenging concept for young children who've only been on the earth for 5 years, right? So we wanted to help them to connect with this concept in a very meaningful way. So we always start out a new project with a class discussion, or we usually do, using literature as a springboard. So in this slide you see Elizabeth, she went from class to class, and she led the class discussion at the outset so that it would be very authentic, as she is the archaeologist. And she talked to them and helped them, began to teach them the various vocabulary words and concepts that we wanted them to learn, such as excavation and stratigraphy, but even before they were going to use these in a first-hand way. On the left, you see some of the toys that were brought in, and so there are 2 per family. And for instance, the one in the lowest picture, the cannonball, metal cannonball replica was of course, the parents' toy. And I'm just laughing because of the Quaker school. But anyway, it was all in the service of science. So, and then the little plastic toy on the right was the child's favorite toy. So each child had 2 toys, and those had been buried. And in the right, we are getting started that in the classroom, talking about what's in the boxes, what they think they're going to discover. So archaeological digs are a way of getting a snapshot of different time periods and cultures, and that was another concept that we were imparting. So during the dig project, students were introduced to the ideas of learning about the past through excavation and through the study of objects, past and present. As they worked, they dug carefully using spoons, mostly spoons. They dug carefully through several layers and experienced firsthand what stratigraphy means, which means layers of soil or dirt. The top layers contained the more recent past items, and as the children dug deeper, they were going further back in time. In this way, they were enabled to connect with these concepts in a meaningful and exciting way. I think what is really most compelling about the pictures are the faces of the children, the looks of wonder on their faces, and the excitement and the intent expressions. And in the previous slide, the child leaning forward as he's listening to Seppi, as he's listening to Elizabeth talk about the boxes and just the whole process. So they're excavating the toys very carefully. And remember, these are 5-year-olds. They don't have a lot of impulse control. But they're not throwing the dirt all over. They're carefully excavating. And as they are, they're making discoveries. They're finding toys and in the dirt and at different levels. And this is one of the things that I love about 5-year-olds. It always reminds me of Coleridge's The Willing Suspension of Disbelief, and he wasn't thinking about 5-year-olds, but I feel like I live that every day because they were willing to suspend the fact that this was just pretend, and that, they're not really doing a dig, but they were really, truly, they believed it, doing a dig. And to them, it was real. So there's a magical element all the time working with, engaging with 5-year-olds. Here they are, excavating. You see the spoons, you see some of the toys that have been discovered, the looks on their faces. They're talking about what they have found. And in all of this, teachers play an important role in the process, facilitating, guiding, questioning, and supporting children as they learn to ask questions and make connections between their experiences. So it's not just a willy-nilly thing. It's, we're we're guiding them all along the way. Now, when they found a toy, they had to dust it off, just the way archaeologists do, so we gave them paint brushes. And then we created worksheets. And over here, woo! Over here, you can see there's a line to show the upper and lower parts of the box. So the deeper part of the box is the part that had the older items in it. So they're drawing pictures, and if they wanted to, they were sounding out words and writing, what the toy was beneath it in using phonetic spelling. And finally, at another session, each class's children got to piece together the puzzle of the broken pot, the broken plate, to figure out what it was, how it got there, mysteriously got there, and they found the initials of their class, KJJ, KMA, and they were, whoa, look at this! Unbeknownst to them that, the teachers had buried these plate pieces, but they had made these fabulous discoveries. And again, at the close, the last session involved another class discussion where children who owned the toys or could stand up and talk about the toys and where they came from, and comparing the recent ones with the more past ones. So we ended up feeling that this had been a very successful new curriculum for 5-year-olds, and one which we would refine and return to and enjoy. I wanted to add that we also took a trip that year to the Toy Museum connected to this curriculum. So thank you. Whoops. There we go.